I've been gone for a while. If you want to know why, check out my Instagram. I'll talk about it there, not bore you with this video. But today, we're talking about Prime Hydration. Yeah, KSI and Logan Paul's company seems to be going extremely poorly now the dust has settled.
Prime, drink 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 Prime, drink.
I mean, from the outset, Prime was like a massive headache. A child had to have his stomach pumped for drinking Prime energy. And in terms of historic Prime controversies, you just have to take one look at his list of lawsuits here to realize that Prime just didn't seem cut out to last all too long. Here's a few of the lawsuits. Castillo versus Prime. In 2023, Elizabeth Castillo, a California resident, filed a class action lawsuit seeking $5 million, claiming that Prime contained PFAs known as forever chemicals that can cause health problems. Cesar Barcerella versus Prime Hydration. In this case, Cesar Barcerella, the Florida-based owner of a line of sports supplements and apparel called Alpha Prime and Protein Brownies called Prime Bites, accused Prime of trademark infringement. High-Tech Pharmaceuticals versus Prime Hydration. In a trademark suit filed in June, High-Tech Pharmaceuticals, a Kentucky-based company, accused Prime Hydration of unfair competition and infringement. Kennedy vs. Prime Hydration. The suit was filed in 2023 by a woman who gave Prime to her 10-year-old son and who claims the product was falsely labeled and marketed to kids as healthy. So now this gets into the more nitty-gritty business stuff that we're going to talk about that is currently relevant today and why Prime isn't doing well anymore. Is companies associated with Prime and helping them with the production were suing them because they weren't selling enough anymore to justify the orders. In the lawsuit, which was filed this month in Chancery Court of Delaware, Refresco says Prime committed to ordering at least 18.5 million cases, or 222 million bottles, annually over 3 years, or a total of 55.5 million cases over 3 years. In exchange, Refresco invested in a custom production line built to exclusively serve Prime. Refresco accuses Prime of failing to order the minimum required during the first year of the contract. It says Prime failed to order any supply from the new production line, thus incurring a penalty payment. Refresco accuses Prime of cutting ties when sales cratered. So all of this has been happening since Prime's launch. You know, things have been getting pretty tasty behind the scenes. Well, now there are reports about how much Prime has dropped the fuck off since the initial hype, because all Prime was, realistically, was Logan and KSI, massive influencers, massive brand, and, you know, they created this scarcity, which I believe, you know, I can't prove it, but it seems like a false sense of scarcity to ramp up the demand, ramp up these little kids frothing, foaming at the mouth just for a taste. And now Prime's so readily available in the UK, even getting clearance sailed because places can't get rid of it quick enough. Well, this report for Prime is not good at all. When YouTubers Logan and KSI launched the Prime brand in 2022, demand was so high that a secondary black market formed among UK school children. But the buzz didn't last. In 2024, the company's UK revenue fell about 70% from the previous year, according to public filings. The company pulled in around £33 million, roughly $45 million in 2024 sales, compared to £120 million, about $163 million the prior year. So that's a massive drop. And you have to realize Prime are sponsoring fucking everyone. I mean, Erling Haaland had a Prime deal. The UFC have a Prime deal. Arsenal have a Prime deal. How much money they've spent on like getting Erling Haaland on board and all this. Considering their revenue, they aren't that profitable. Prime remained profitable in the UK in 2024. So this is the year they had the massive drop off in revenue with about £312,000 in profit. A 92% drop compared to the previous year. 92% profit drop. Considering their revenue in 2024 was £33 million and their profit is a £312,000 profit, obviously tells you they are spending shit tons of cash. Now, other indicators as well at Prime's dropping off other metrics that are being used. US sales declined through the first half of last year. According to estimates from market insights firm Numerator, as of June 2024, Prime sales in the US were down 40% from the previous year. Based on purchase data the firm compiled from its panel of 150,000 US consumers. Numerator attributed the decline to a lack of new buyers, as well as less frequent purchasing and a drop in spending per unit from existing customers. the decline in sales outpaced broader declines in sales in the energy drink and sports drink categories. So, in the sector of energy drinks, their decline was a lot more rapid. I mean, granted, their growth at the start was definitely a lot more rapid than any of these companies probably have ever seen. But as you're seeing now, less new buyers, less frequent purchases, because people go to, a news agent or a shop. Most of the time, you look at brands like Lucozade, Gatorade, I don't know, Monster, and you're going to pick one of those up because they're similarly priced and, quite frankly, they're better. These are 2024 figures that are the massive decline. It'd be interesting to hear what the 2025 figures are. It doesn't look good for KSI and Logan Paul with Prime. And you know what? It couldn't have happened. KSI, fine, but like Logan Paul couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, Logan. You are scum of the earth, and I never wish to see you do well because of how many people you have screwed over in your time while being in a position of privilege. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. It's interesting looking at influencer brands. Subscribe if you're new. Fuck off.